Welcome, dreamers and listeners, to the Dream Stream podcast and YouTube show. I am Yiskah Koock, here with my fellow dream worker, Ellen Ronis. Hi, Ellen.
Hi, Yiskah. Hello, everybody out there.
So you might see behind my right shoulder that I have a new rescue dog named Samson. I call him Sammy. He's just so goofy. It's like Samson's such an official name, So he's Sammy. I also call him Pinky because he's so cute. He's got pink skin. Hey, Sammy. Sammy. No, perhaps he'll turn around at he's dreaming. he's dreaming for the podcast. So how has your dream life been, Ellen?
Well, yeah, we've been talking for so many months and months about how the dream world just kind of went bye-bye for a while.
Yes, when life got so surreal, when life became
weird,
dreamlike.
Yeah, which who knows why that happens. I think sometimes I've said this before that I think that if we're working stuff in our waking life, that there's not much that the unconscious needs to shed light on because it's all right there,
Yes,
but I'm not sure if that's really true. That's just a theory.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Yeah. So, but I've had a few dreams lately, and
wonderful.
It's always so just delightful when I have it, even if it's not like a great dream or it's a difficult dream or whatever, I feel whatever I feel in the dream, but I'm always happy when I dream. It makes me feel so connected, like, oh, here's my soul.
Exactly. I feel that way as well. And I always try to remember the dream, hold on to the memory. And then my new thing is don't get out of bed until you're really clear of what you want to write down. Because I know that the walk from the bed to the toilet may knock out any recall. So I lay in the bed and I'm like, I'll tell you what I did the other night or the morning. And I said, okay, I think Bono is in my dream, or maybe it's Jason Bateman. Look at his face, Ellen.
You have dreams with cute, famous people. That's happened before.
I hang with the stars.
Really cutie, handsome guys in your famous people in the dream world. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I enjoy it.
I'm sure you do. Well, I've been hanging with men in my dreams too, but they're unknowns. They're unknown men.
Are they all dressed alike? You've been men who are all normal or something.
Normal. You remember that. That's so funny. Yeah, no, they're actually pretty cool. Yeah, so, getting to that, I guess. Oh gosh, I just remembered I had a dream with Tim in it again.
Okay, we've been keeping good track of that.
I don't remember what it was.
Oh, yeah, okay.
That was the one I kind of don't really, it was the most recent one and I don't really remember, but he was...
Do you remember what feeling you had in the dream?
Yeah, I'm trying to get the flavor. It feels like he was dressed in some weird costumey kind of thing.
Okay.
And we were getting along really well. There was some way that we were getting along. It wasn't romantic or sexual, but we were just getting along really well. But he was in this really weird costume.
That's very interesting.
Yeah. So that's not really the one I was thinking to share, but it just I just kind of remembered it.
That reminds me, if I may say, my one of my dream teachers, Dr. Stephen Larson, says in Japan, every question is asked what are you playing at these days? Like the way the language is, it's as if they're saying, what are you playing? And of course reminding me of we are players in our lives. We are the actors in our lives. And so that dream, he's dressed in perhaps costume for me, and I might think, what are we playing at? What are we playing at right now?
What is this game? What is this game we're playing here?
Yes.
And I woke up feeling really good, I remember.
Oh,
I remember
wonderful.
really good, like almost, I don't know, it was like a visit, almost like a visit from a past time, before everything, maybe even
Yeah.
before our marriage or something. I don't
Yes.
know, some other time zone world, cosmic something. It was just something a little bit like that from another
Right.
place,
Right.
and it was nice.
That's good. I like to believe that we can work through karma even in our dreams,
Right.
really do the work that we're needing. And as I say, often, we spend 1/3 of our lives asleep. Much of that time, they say like every 90 seconds we dream. So much of that time dreaming, or I think they get longer or they start longer. Let me think about that for a moment.
Yeah, I never heard that. We dream every 90
Seconds, but I think they
seconds.
start longer. And then as we come closer to waking, they become shorter. I don't have
Hmm.
the specifics on that. I'll get them and share them with our listeners. But
Okay.
but yeah, so we spend all this time in the dream space. It's good to think that we can work things through.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I've even had the urge to call him and
Oh,
just talk about,
yeah.
and I don't know what, like certain things that I miss, like we used to have like a lot of music stuff in common and have fun
Yeah,
with
you guys were awesome. You had your first Monday's party, dance party. What
First
was
Fridays.
First
Yeah.
Friday's dance
Yeah.
party?
Yeah. And he was a DJ at the Frolic. So we just, and we would
Yeah,
kind of like, he would
yeah,
pick me up and go, how's this one? And I'd try to dance to it and go,
yeah.
oh, this one's rocking. Put
Nice
that on.
collaboration.
Yeah, we definitely had some fun together, and we definitely had some really good times. And
You should call him because he's my
yeah,
Facebook friend.
I know he's everybody's Facebook friend.
I
We have
know.
like 100 Facebook friends in common,
It's
which is how I even still
which
know,
is even
any of those.
fine and better than like your friends having to choose one half of the couple.
It was very awkward at the beginning when some of my very, very closest friends who were very much supporting me and holding me in the grief of it all were
Yes,
also like still friends with him. That was hard
yes,
for me. It was like, how
yes.
could you? But that's not reasonable. I get it. That was just my emotionality and stuff. So,
Right.
but anyway,
It's not
that is
reasonable.
what it
It doesn't have to be reasonable. It was emotional. It
is.
wasn't reasonable.
It's totally emotional. Oh my God. That was it. That was a bundle of feeling at that time.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah. So one of the dreams that I remember, and it was probably like a week ago or so, was that I was in a kind of a mall, like a shopping mall, but one of these big fancy ones where it was a big open space in between all the stores.
Okay.
And there were a bunch of horses and a horse wrangler who was young and handsome. And we were sort of connecting, and I was like curious about all the horses. And there's one horse that came up. The horses were all gorgeous, like silky smooth and
Oh,
like
wow.
Spanish brown color and just well groomed and just gorgeous. And I guess they were there for some kind of show or something. But they
Okay.
were all unbridled, unsaddled, just completely bare and
Wow.
so gorgeous. And this one giant horse, like almost on the edge of being larger than life, like
Yes. Yes.
not like almost like just like
Yes.
whoa, but
Yes.
maybe of course could have been that big. I'm not sure.
Okay.
And he comes up to me, and the horse guy, the wrangler, says, okay, this is what you have to do to he was basically showing me how to like, not be afraid of the horse and calm the horse down by taking my hand and putting it, on its like snout like this,
Oh,
gently pushing the head down, which is interesting because that I don't know that you necessarily do that, but when a horse is feeling relaxed, it will do that. It will drop its head, and then
oh,
you're connected and they trust you and you're safe. It'll just drop
yes.
its head. So in the dream, I was controlling that. I was like doing that, and it was very like cool. It was so cool. Like I did it. I put my hand there and connected with the horse, and the horse calmed down, and
Wow.
that was the whole dream. But there was like a definite connection between me and the wrangler.
Oh,
There was
yeah.
definitely like
I
we
heard
were
that.
like I don't know. There was a kind of connection there.
So wonderful.
Yeah.
So clarifying questions. Do you have any sense of what mall you were at or what state you were in or where in the world you were?
I don't really specifically, but it definitely feels like it was one of those, fancier like Westchester malls. I just
Mm-hmm.
remember there was a mall in Westchester where we used to have our Pilates studio that was so super fancy and all these really
Okay.
expensive stores. And it was very, very spacious. It was just
Yes.
like that. You could walk. There was like a walking thing around, it was one of those. So it might have been that. It might have been there. It
Right.
definitely could have been somewhere. Could have been like a real place.
Yeah. So, now, do you know of any malls that have animals in them?
No,
No.
not at all. No, not at all.
I
No, I
just,
think that the animals were definitely, I live with horses, so
yeah.
it wasn't those
Yes.
horses in the dream, but
Yes.
like my
Beautiful.
connection to horse energy
Yes.
is pretty
Yes.
strong here.
Yeah.
But also, I think if I may just kind of jump into my own
Please do, dream worker.
as I do, horses to me feel like this beautiful masculine strong
Oh,
energy.
that's interesting that you say that.
I think of horses, I don't know what the symbology, I never go with all those like symbol books and stuff, but to me horses feel like masculine energy even if it's a female horse.
That's
There's
very
something very,
interesting.
yeah,
And now we
yeah, strong.
measure everything in horsepower, everything that's powerful in horsepower. Even
Isn't that interesting?
even a spaceship, we say how many horsepower, which is
Mhm.
ridiculous.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Right.
Pegasus.
Horses galloping through the
We
cosmos.
must be talking about Pegasus, for space. Anyway.
Oh yeah, right.
so
Right.
and now, can you tell me anything else about the Wrangler and why a Wrangler? Like, what's a Wrangler?
Wrangler. No, that was an interesting question. I've been using that word a lot since that dream. Um, in a totally different context, which I'll tell you about later.
Okay.
Um, Wrangler. I don't know why that name. I don't know. So a Wrangler. What does a Wrangler mean to me? Is somebody who I think of like pulling it together, like this. Like we're gonna,
Yes.
you know, let me get you like a shepherd almost.
I was just gonna say that it sounds like
Like a
like a
shepherd, but also a little bit more about controlling the behavior, but in a
okay.
very gentle way, like in a very gentle
Yes.
way that is
Yes.
good for the animal and good for the person, not
So
like
yeah,
whip the horse or anything. Like
this
it
guy
feels very
wasn't a
gentle.
cowboy. In fact, these horses didn't have saddles on them.
No
Yeah.
saddles, and he wasn't wearing like the hat, or it wasn't like,
Yeah.
yeah, it was nothing like
Yippee-yi-yo,
that.
ki
Which there's a lot of that around here in New Mexico. I
Yeah.
live with a cowboy.
Now that you're talking about it, I'm smelling like juniper wood burning and
Uh,
sagebrush burning.
yeah.
Yeah, I
The funny
love
thing about that
the
is
Southwest.
it's so hot here
Yeah.
that sometimes, we have like wood chips like right outside my window here, just
Yes.
like
Yeah.
probably
Yeah.
juniper
That you get the
or, one of
smell
those
of
kind of
it.
wood.
That
Smells like burning wood almost, but like delicious.
oh, we this is a weird ask, but would you please send me some wood chips in an envelope of like juniper or one of these soft woods? I mean, we can burn cedar here, but I've never burned juniper here
Uh,
in the East. I don't.
I mean, I think
Yeah.
they're juniper chips. Like, I don't know what they are, but I'll find out. And we've got, they're all, send me your address.
I
Send me a little
will,
package.
honey. I'm doing a podcast, so the boys are going swimming. Um,
Nice.
yeah.
Boy.
So we were talking about this Wrangler, and
Yeah.
does he remind you of anyone that you know from your life?
No, but he reminds me of when I was very young, and I remember somebody like saying, doing like a meditation about what would your like how do you imagine your life with a partner? And I
Oh,
remember it was such a specific thought that, my guy would be kind of like an outdoorsy guy with the plaid flannel shirt, but of course really sexy, that kind of fantasy
wait,
guy.
I don't think you said
Very
sexy when
gentle.
you were 11. Did you say you were 11?
Well, no, it wasn't. I wasn't that young.
Oh,
No, it wasn't
okay.
that. I wasn't probably in my 20s.
Okay. So
Yeah, I was
yeah,
probably in my
he'd be
20s or
sexy
so,
for
and I
sure.
no, no, but I remember like the vision was, we're on this kind of dark wooded street in a kind of a cabinish house, and we have neighbors, but it's all very like almost like the Christmas card with the glowing
Yeah.
fire and
Yeah.
candles in the windows, and the guy is just this really gentle, like, mountain man.
Yeah. Yes. Uh-huh.
I, I think that's still my fantasy, but
Yeah.
that's never happened. But
What's
anyway,
changed?
yeah,
Wow.
not much in a way. Yeah,
Oh, I
that
used to
was
have
my
I used to
younger,
have
and
that.
he was like that. That guy was like that. Just
Yeah.
I had
Yeah.
that flavor to him.
Yeah.
So
Flirtation. So, wow.
like
Yeah.
sweet, gentle but strong, masculine.
It is very dream. This
Perfect guy.
this dream is very dreamlike. that
Exactly. Like
that that scene of like the dream guy and then wild horses in the mall. So even if I don't feel like I want to shop, I can hang with the wild horses
with the gorgeous horses. Yeah.
and the gorgeous man who's younger. So
Yeah.
so
He
it
wasn't
is
that much
very.
younger.
You
He actually
said
wasn't younger. He was like my age.
okay. Well, that's
Mhm.
funny because sometimes in my dreams I'm like, there was another young woman, like as if I'm a young woman. There was another like I see
Oh,
myself as a young woman in dreams.
uh-huh.
There
Oh.
was another young woman there along with me. So okay, so he was a young man. I mean, he wasn't a young man.
He
He
was
was
my age.
your age.
Yeah. So, yeah. Do you have? I have some thoughts, but do you have any other like
Well,
anything
those were
else?
the clarifying questions.
Okay.
So, um, let's do a reality check. So, do you know a man who could potentially be this dream man in waking life?
Unfortunately, no.
Okay.
Unfortunately, no.
Yeah, not yet.
No. I still have hope, but no.
So, and we talked about the mall. Um, well, and you said your relationship with horses is because there are horses around there, and
Yeah. And I've always
they're
had
in your. Mm,
yeah, I've always had connection with horse medicine or animal. Like I loved it when I
yeah.
was a kid. I drew
Yes.
pictures of horses. There were all pictures of horses all
Oh,
over my room,
oh,
and
you were
I
a
wrote a little
horsey
bit.
girl. You were
I
a
was a horsey
horsey
girl, although
girl,
we didn't have a horse, and I didn't
right?
ride that much. But I found ways to ride. I found ways
Yes,
to happen. But
that's wonderful. So that's why
yeah,
I was surprised when you said it seems very masculine. Well, I can see that with horsepower and the automobile and
Mhm.
power of it unto itself. One of my dream teachers, Robert Moss, says horses are and women have like a really special connection. I don't know if, I mean, in my mind, that meant he was connecting horse with femininity, femininity,
Mhm.
but maybe that wasn't, and that's not
I
what.
think. Yeah, no, I think he just meant that horses and women have a connection, not that they are the same, but
Right,
that they have a connection.
right.
That's my feeling
Women
about it, and
women
maybe
can
that's true.
connect with male energy. That's
They
interesting.
can.
I was never a horse girl. I was never a horsey person.
Hmm.
I liked
Yeah.
cats.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I do. I love animals
No,
altogether. I mean, I
I'm
like
only
goats.
joking, but
I have a
yeah,
pet goat, but
yeah, it'd be nice to have a pet goat. She could eat all the poison ivy.
yeah, exactly,
Hmm.
exactly.
Hmm.
They're good for their needs.
But
So
please do say what you were thinking about
yeah,
this dream.
my thoughts. What are my thoughts? Something just the flavor, like this gentle, strong male energy. There's something so nice and luscious and beautiful about that.
Mm,
Like
mm,
you know, if nothing else, it's just really nice to feel that in my dream world, that that
Yes.
exists, that you know, and I'm guessing it, you know, like everything, we are all of that, right? We have all of those energies in us, and maybe there's something about wrangling my own gentle masculine or something, you know,
Yeah.
the
Bring it, well,
gentle
you
masculine in
described it
myself.
as
You know, actually,
bringing it together, like a wrangler,
yeah,
like a herder, bringing it so,
yeah,
and in
like a
fact,
herd, like, yeah,
that is what you're doing in your life. I'm assuming, I mean, me, I'll just make it about myself. If I'm Ellen,
mhm,
that's what I'm doing. I'm finding, a new way to practice my gifts and wrangling it all together, bringing it all together.
yeah,
And yeah,
interesting. That's true. Yeah,
yeah. So,
yeah.
and
Looking,
also in my imagined version, the man and the horses really have similar qualities as each other. When I hear you talking about the gentle masculine, I think of, if I don't have a gender to horses. I, again, not a horse person, but I think of the gentleness and the strength.
mhm,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And horses are also very sensitive creatures. They're very
Yes.
sensitive to your energy and the energy around them, and
Yes. Yes.
yeah. So harnessing, that's a way I would say that, like a wrangler is
Yeah.
harnessing,
Absolutely.
right? Like
Yeah.
pulling it together, and like that he's telling me how to not control so much, but how to, I don't know, be with this energy so that you can both have a good relationship, you know,
Yes.
so that the other, the horse, kind of feels safe with you, like learning how to be in relationship
Yeah.
where
Yes.
this
Yes.
this masculine spirit or whatever, this energy of the horse feels safe with me, and I feel safe
Yes.
with it.
Yes.
Um,
My friend Donna is from Jamaica,
mm,
and they don't really have big dogs in the house. These are outside animals. So and I guess she also had an experience when she was a child that I don't know if it actually attacked her or just jumped up on her, and she got frightened. So she's kind of afraid of this guy, Samson, sorry, Sammy, my dog. Um, and then he picks up on her fear, and then he gets a little like growly. So
mm,
I think that's similar with horses. You know, my stepmom says horses are just like big dogs. You know,
uh, yeah, yeah,
is
they
that your
are in a way.
experience? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, they're definitely sensitive. They're also they have this gentle, like when they're calm, their energy is so nice to be around.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
so like this is just like lovely. If you
They can
feel connected,
hold the
it's a
space.
beautiful connection. Yeah, like you can
Yeah.
fly in there. I don't know.
Oh, love it.
If they're feeling really calm or they're feeling really connected. And I don't
Yes.
necessarily have that with the horses here because, you know, they all have their personalities and quirks and
Yeah.
stuff. But
Yes.
um, I have moments, you know, with one of the horses who's very gentle, the most
Yes.
gentle of the four. And, you
Yes.
know, he put his head on my shoulder. He's just
Oh, love it.
really
That's
sweet.
so
Yeah.
sweet.
It's
Well,
really
was
nice.
was
I feel
that
so blessed.
happening? Such a blessing to have horses. When I lived in New Mexico, I had horses on my property that I was living in as well.
Oh, oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I
Cool.
lived in La Jara, New Mexico, which is kind of in between Santa Fe and Albuquerque. It's maybe a little closer to Albuquerque, and there was it was a women's retreat center, and we had horses who lived there. Yes, it
Hmm.
was such a
Nice.
blessing. I felt so blessed by
Hmm.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
There is something really special. Also, you know, horses are wild animals. I mean, they're
Yes,
domesticated, but you know, when they're wild, it's just the beauty of it,
it's
just
incredible.
running wind kind of thing.
Herd and the herd aspect. Let's explore that a little,
Yes, yes,
because
yes. They definitely connect with each other.
Say that one more time.
They're definitely connected to each
To
other.
each
They
other.
have that.
So
They're
they're
very much.
herd animals, and it makes me think, if one dreams of herd animals, including people, I suppose, it's collective. It could have collective elements, not just personal elements in the dream.
Definitely, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
We all need to tap into our gentle masculinity. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like masculinity is it's just like femininity, being feminine or masculine, or that not being, but the energies of those two things I think are both being redefined
Mm,
in our world right now. Like what
yes.
the feminine energy is rising and finding its strength in our in our world,
Yeah.
and the masculine is kind of hopefully in a certain way toning down but staying in its strength and its
Yeah.
focus and purpose, but toning down. And maybe that's what that was. Maybe that's what that
Yeah.
was. It could have been like a universal thing, not only just personal and
Yes.
me,
Yes.
but it was like the hey, just
Again, it seems so
on the
dreamlike, you know. I mean, we're
yeah.
doing dream work, so that maybe sounds funny, but I mean, like any dream that we might create, like daydream like. That's what it seems to me.
Hmm.
Daydream like.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
that's a wonderful dream. And so you've already been honoring it by saying Wrangler in different contexts. Is that
Wrangler.
what
Yeah, so it was totally could be an unrelated context. So I've been doing pottery. My new thing is pottery. I've got
Oh,
pots everywhere and
I
bowls
would
everywhere.
love to see pictures of your pottery. Thank, no,
I'll send you some things, some pictures. Last night I unpacked all of. Hmm?
no, I didn't say anything. I
Sorry.
was just, I
Okay.
didn't,
Oh,
me, no, nothing to say. You, what?
I know it's so hard with this.
I'm sorry. A friend just came in my room and said he put on the air conditioning if I want to shut my windows. But actually, it's a nice breeze. I don't want to shut my windows.
Yes, it's
So
probably too hot.
I'll just throw my money out the window. Okay, what were you
I've done
saying?
that before. Um, so pottery, yes,
Yes.
I've really I've completely 100% dove into pottery. Like,
Wow, I love it.
I took an 8-week course. Right now, I'm into the next set series of 8 weeks,
Wow.
and I'm just creating a lot, and I'm learning a lot. Some of the stuff is funny looking shaped little ashtray things, but I'm
Yeah.
making some really beautiful bowls and mugs.
Wow.
Things are like I'm really proud of the things I'm making, and I'm
Would you?
also struggling a lot with it. Like really, it's bringing up all my like frustrations and
Yes.
child like how I was when I was a kid. When I would get frustrated if I
Yeah.
couldn't do something, I want to just like throw the thing down. Like,
I
so
didn't want to do this
yeah,
anyway.
I fucking hate this.
Do you
So
have a
I'm
kiln,
noticing.
Ellen? Do
Hmm?
you have a kiln at your house?
I don't know. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it at my house. I'm doing it at a pottery studio in
There's a
town.
studio open to do that. Oh
Yes,
my, I
yes,
would love to get out of the house.
yeah. We're all wearing masks, and
Yes,
he only lets like 3 students in plus an assistant plus himself, so 5 people in the
that's
studio
perfect.
is
It's
the
perfect.
maximum, and it is perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's always the front and the back door open, so there's always a breeze, and it feels fine and safe, and
Oh, beautiful. So you have the ventilation. I
yeah,
think
good
that's
ventilation.
the most important thing.
Yeah, so it's been a new skill that I'm learning, and I feel like proud that I'm doing it, and I'm really dedicated, which is unusual for me. Usually, I kind of dabble and then I'm out of there. So I'm hoping that I stay in it. But anyway, I've been taught. So one of the things about like the more skilled you get, the bigger
Right?
your things can get, the bigger your
Because they
little.
won't just break, you
Just
know.
learn how you learn,
Yeah.
because it's harder. It's a little bit harder to make a
Yes.
bigger thing. You notice in a studio who's the beginners. Everybody's making these little ashtrays or little teeny
Right.
little bowls or little
Right.
things because it's easier, and that's where you start slow.
Yes.
And, and so I'm able to make really big bowls now,
That's
which I'm.
awesome.
But you have to start with a 5 or 6 pound ball of clay, which is a lot.
That's
And
huge.
yeah, and even though people say you're supposed to just like lean into it, just like in body work and massage therapy, right?
Yes.
Lean in your
Oh,
energy. Well,
oh.
if you're some people, you do that. If you're me, you go, very strong. And I tend to use
So
muscle.
tiny.
I've been
Ah.
calling it like wrangling. I'm wrangling
Oh,
the
I
clay.
love it.
Wrangling
Do
the
you
clay.
do you have any of your pieces in the room with you? Can you like,
Uh, yeah.
can I see?
I
Yay.
have actually all my pieces, but they're all in a big like.
Okay. So you
But
can
here's
show
the
us.
one which happens to be
That's beautiful.
the
Oh, I
inside.
love the way you glazed that.
Thank you.
That's
Glazing is the freaking hardest thing ever. But I do like the way this one came out. I love the shape.
it's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah. So
So
wrangling,
that's wrangling. I love it.
bringing it, you know that, but and that is an interesting. It's like bringing it into form, or bring it, or
Yes.
taking something that's raw and making it into something more refined. Maybe that's
Yes.
like a way I'm looking at that word.
Yes. Well, and
You
it's
know, but
so interesting because with sculpture, you take away from
uh
what's formed,
huh.
but with pottery, you have to add to it. Or maybe that's very like sculpture. You know what you are taking away from the clay because you're
Yeah, it is. It's
separating a smaller
different. Yeah.
piece from the 5 pound block.
Well,
Or
you're just sort of taking that big thing and just reshaping it. You're not putting
reshaping
in
it.
or taking out. You're just reforming something that already
Yes,
is into
that's
something.
cool. I like
Yeah,
it.
it is pretty cool. I know. I really never, I've dabbled in pottery a little here and there, and I actually never really took to it because I didn't think I was very good at it. And I was, it was fun to be in the studio with other people and doing
Yeah,
creative things, but I didn't really, the pottery itself was,
yeah,
but for some
yes.
reason I'm just seeing it differently now, and I was really
I
appreciating it.
love it.
Um,
Yeah.
oh, and this takes me actually into the second dream that I had,
Okay. Oh, good
which was
segue.
a very quick little like image, and it was that another guy who looked sort of similar to the Wrangler, like had that
Okay.
similar kind of gentle, um
Wild strength. No, I'm sorry, I'm putting words for you.
he, no, he wasn't wild looking. He was actually
Okay.
not. Yeah, he reminded me of, this is so weird because this is not my type, like John Denver,
Okay.
like that kind of like cute boyish look, kind of at my age, also
Uh,
again like my age.
did you ever hear the Beatles song "Mother Nature's Son"? Because
Probably, but I can't
that's
quite
about
recall
John
it.
Denver. Born a poor young country boy,
Oh, yes.
Mother Nature's son. Do do do.
That's about John Denver?
All day long, I'm sitting playing songs for everyone. Yeah, it's about. Well, I read that, but I have no reason to
That's,
doubt that.
yes, that type. So I guess even though John Denver's like look is not my type, but something about that type of
Yeah.
person.
Yes. But I
Yeah.
think they're making fun of him in the
Oh,
song.
really? Oh.
You know, boys from Liverpool,
Aw.
city boys from Liverpool. Yes.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I know it is kind of contradictory for me too. Really, it is not generally my type at all. But whatever, there it is in my dream world. So,
In your
um,
life, you're living in New Mexico. That's that's New Mexico, right? I mean,
what do you
that
mean?
like country guys and well, artists too, I would say in Santa Fe for sure. Oh, there's no.
No,
Well,
there's no
I
men here.
I
There's
used to.
there's lots of fantastic women and very few, and the men. No, it's not true. There's plenty of men, of course, but
Yes, yes.
yeah, and the men here are quite. I mean, whatever. It's you could say that about anywhere, but my finding is that there's a lot of gay men here, a
Okay.
lot, because a lot of artists, a lot of
Yeah.
there's a lot of everything. Everybody's here,
There were
everybody's here. It
there were
doesn't matter.
Wrangler types in Albuquerque when I
I'm
used to
sure
live.
there are
Yeah.
everywhere. There are cowboys.
Yeah,
You know,
sure. Sure.
everyone is here, like everyone is everywhere, and I
Yes.
just, my finding here though is that there are so many really cool women.
That's awesome.
So many really my age, like ish, you know,
Yeah,
50,
totally.
60, like
Totally.
doing what I did, you know, you sort of starting over, moving from some other place to, you know,
Yes,
cool women,
yes.
really. So, which is great,
It's
you know, we're
awesome.
friends, but
The
and everybody
the
was like, where's
tribe.
the
You
men?
found
Where?
your tribe.
Yeah,
Love it.
not a lot of cool men. But anyway, that, that's okay for now. You know, although I am getting ready clearly because my dream world is telling me this it is definitely opening up to this masculine energy. There's something.
Yeah, I love it.
So in this second dream, this guy was walking towards me with a little sort of a flat clay piece that he was
Oh,
making for me. He was making me a piece of jewelry out of clay,
oh,
and he was like
interesting.
walking towards me as he was making it, and like as he was sort of still poking into it, like he was wanting to show it to me.
Yeah.
And that was
Oh
it.
my gosh.
And it felt
If
so
that's not
great.
a like a clue to, I mean, that's amazing.
It was amazing. It was so amazing. It was like, oh my God, somebody is making me something, and it's pottery, of course, because that's you
So
know.
it this
Maybe I'm going to meet someone in the world of pottery. By the way, there's a lot of men in pottery.
I was just gonna say,
A
for
lot of
my
men.
dream, I would feel like this is where I'll meet the man that I
Really?
could hang out with.
Yeah, I was sort of surprised. I don't know why. I'm a little bit surprised. I mean, there's plenty of women too, plenty,
Yeah,
many,
yeah.
you know. But it compared to many other things where it's like all women, you know, every
Right.
spiritual thing you do is like mostly women and three really cool men, you know, and
Yes.
you know, I was a lot of women in everything I do. So, but there's a
Yes.
lot of men, you know. I mean, the studio owner's a man. There are men in the studio. Every place I go,
Yes.
all the galleries that I go to is men owned, and it is
Okay.
kind of there is something about the, you know, and the fire. They do these fires.
Forming something.
It's
Earth
also
and
like it's
wind and
strong. There's a
fire.
yeah. There's
Earth,
something.
wind.
I don't know. There's an intensity.
That's
There's a.
awesome.
I think what I'm loving about it is that it's not what's the word I'm looking for? It's not oh shit. Um, it's not ethereal.
Yeah.
It's not a thought. It's not
Yes.
a process. I mean, it is a process, but it's a
Yeah.
physical process. It's not an emotional, because I'm so in that world of emotional process and spiritual concepts, you know,
Yes.
that have like a form. So this is so the opposite. It's so like concrete, earth, making something, and then you have a bowl, you know,
Yeah, totally, totally.
or
It
more
feels
concrete.
very New Mexico. You know, it feels like the Zuni would make
Yeah. Yes.
bowls
Yeah. Yeah.
and cups and yeah.
I know it's funny. People say that, oh, well, you have to do pottery if you're in New Mexico. I never, I somehow didn't put that together, but that's okay. It's true. It's
Right, and
for sure.
all the clay, the sandstone and the clay
Yeah,
hills. I mean, the hills are clay.
exactly. There is a lot of clay. There's a lot of
Yeah.
clay earth around here. And, you know, we're using, as far as I know, the studio owner was using clay right from here, right from Santa
Wow,
Fe.
I love it.
So that's cool. Yeah,
So
I think he's
therefore, you could sell what you make because it's authentically from the earth of Santa Fe.
well, I could always sell what I make if I want. I mean,
Well,
anywhere.
I mean, it's true, but I'm just thinking of the connections of living in Santa Fe, like making pottery out of that clay, and
Right.
like maybe that would be a brand.
That's like a selling point. Yes, like
Yeah,
authentic New Mexico pottery
exactly, exactly.
from a nice Jewish girl from New York.
Did I ever tell you, Ellen, my cousin Greg married an Italian woman named Daniela, and they moved to Costa Rica. This was years ago. Um, and she would paint plates or whatever. And everyone thought, oh, this young Costa Rican woman, because she speaks Italian. So they're thinking, oh, she's Costa Rican. So she was able to make some great sales because people were purchasing things from a Costa Rican woman.
People are so stupid. I'm sorry, but you know, right? I mean, it's just dumb.
Yes, it
Like, who
is.
cares? Yeah, I mean,
And
anyway,
they got
whatever.
by on that.
Really got by. Well, good.
I'm just saying a Jewish New Yorker can make pottery in New Mexico. That's beautiful.
Totally. And it's still authentic New Mexican pottery.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. So I love those dreams a lot, and
Yeah, they're
made me feel
wonderful.
hopeful, and it did like open my heart a little bit. Like I feel like my heart is opening to that possibility of having, a man in my world. Like I don't think I'm interested in like getting married, and at least not now. And I don't think I'm
Mhm.
interested in actually living with someone full
Yeah,
time,
right.
at least not right now.
That's
But I
right.
would love the idea of having somebody, and I like the idea of having somebody who's yeah, whatever. Got my
That's
back a
why
little
that's
bit.
why I
Yeah.
got a rescue dog. That's why I got Sammy. I got
I
no
know. I would
man in
have,
my
yeah,
life. I have no man in
I
my
get
life.
it.
But I got Sammy. He's my
And he
guy.
sleeps in your bed. That's nice. Yeah.
And yeah, but he actually, he's so cute. I told you he puts his soft head by my feet,
Yeah.
which is just jowls, hound dog jowls, and just extra skin. So I don't know. They think he's 2.5 at the shelter. I don't
Hmm.
know if he's still growing because he's
Yeah.
already 70 pounds. He's the biggest dog
Ooh,
I've ever had. So
wow.
he's got his head is bigger than his body, and he seems to have skin to grow into. So I don't know. Well, I'll keep you
Yeah.
informed.
Well, if he's two, he's not growing anymore.
I
They don't.
know, I know. That's why I'm saying I don't think they actually know.
Oh, okay.
I think they're just guessing. Because if you
Yeah.
look at his head, he's got like almost like the Shar wrinkles, which
Uh-huh.
to me
Yeah.
just means still growing, right? I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe I'll keep you informed,
Yeah. Well,
Ellen
then
and
he'd be a good
listeners.
dog to lean on. He'd be a good
Exactly,
dog to
right?
lean
So
on,
I'm
and he'd be able to
training.
help you.
I'm gonna train
Yeah.
him to be my service dog, and I think
Yeah.
I've talked about this. I want him. We're training him right now. My 10-year-old son and I to pick it up. Pick it up. We're using those two words. Pick it up, like pick up things off the floor that I drop. But he's
Mm-hmm.
just not getting it. But we're working on it. And
Mm-hmm.
then I ordered a harness, and when that comes, then we're gonna do the balance walking,
Mm-hmm.
leaning on him. Right now,
Mm-hmm.
though, he's just so good. He wouldn't spook at all for that.
Yeah.
He loves to be close. You know.
That's so great. I'm so, so glad you finally got a dog, and
Me
he's
too.
a sweetheart. He looks like such a sweetheart. And I like that he's big. And yeah, I hope that you can train him. You might want to get some help too in the training if you really
I
want him to be
I think
your,
I think I will need to find a
yeah,
trainer who could come
yeah,
here and help myself and Lev
mhm,
to figure out how
yeah,
to train him. I
yeah,
mean, yeah, I worked on balancing me with my dog Tovi, but he was quite a bit smaller, right? He was like
yeah.
he wasn't that much smaller. He was like 50 pounds.
You're
Well, that is
50, yeah.
actually 20 pounds smaller. So,
Hmm.
and he used to get nervous if I had fallen and I put any weight on him, he would get nervous. And I think you're not supposed to do that, but Sammy seems absolutely strong enough for my weight. I mean, he's a
Yeah,
big guy.
yeah, totally. And I think,
Yeah.
yeah, if he's well trained, like consistently and well trained,
Yeah.
he'll know what his job is,
Yes. So
That's cool.
I gotta work on my consistency.
Yeah, no, it has to be that. I know. I was never consistent with Seamus, and he was a good and easy
Yeah,
dog, but he wasn't
exactly.
well trained. He
Okay.
just like, wasn't really.
As we
He
know
could
from him
admit
pooping
about
a
it.
pile in
Yes,
your
in my dream world, keeping a
in your dream.
5 foot pile of. You're so funny that you remember those things. You
Of
remember
course I do. That's always was the thrill of dream group, is that we know things about each other that we don't know if the other one is married or has kids or is where
right.
we might know those things, but we know their dreams. We know
Yeah.
Joyce dreamed of that beautiful spring green color, and she was a
Mm-hmm.
woman in her 70s, and she often dreamed that she was on a campus, a college campus. And
Mm-hmm.
it's just so
Yeah. No.
wonderful to have those
Yeah. And
images of
that's, yeah.
people. Yeah,
And that's really deep stuff. It's like deep, almost like collective unconscious kind of stuff.
it is. It
Right.
is. Right, because we all get something out of each other's dreams, and that's what we learn.
Absolutely.
Hopefully, we learn from the Dream Stream podcast, and hopefully, we learn from our own doing dream work with friends.
Yeah.
A worthwhile
Yeah.
process. All right, Ellen. So I should go. I haven't eaten yet.
Me as well.
Well,
And
it's
I have to
so much earlier there.
I know. Well, it's yeah, it's a quarter to 11, but I have to go do a massage right now. So
Oh, good. Oh, good. Okay,
yeah,
well, it's great.
yeah.
Great
So
to
next,
see you.
yeah, same here. Next time we talk, I want to hear what's going on in your dream world too. I really want to
Okay.
get.
I
I did
love. I love to
today,
share
but
that.
yeah, I want to.
Okay.
Let's do it. Let's do it again soon if you want.
I would
I
love
really,
to.
I love hanging with you in this realm. So
Me too. So, thank you so much, Ellen.
you're
And
welcome.
to our listeners, thank you again for joining us. I hope you got something out of it, and sweet dreams until we meet again. Isn't that what I used to say? Okay, now I have to figure out. Okay, here we go. Bye, Ellen. See you
Okay.
soon.
Bye.